Hello, my name's Dr. Joseph Toscano. I'm running as an independent candidate in the electorate of Dunkley in southern Melbourne. The electorate of Dunkley includes the suburbs of Mount Eliza, Mornington, Seaford, Langwarrin and Frankston. Over 220,000 people live in this electorate and over 100,000 people will be voting at the federal election on the 2nd of July. I'm the only independent in the electorate of Dunkley from 11 candidates. I'm running on the platform of exposing corporate welfare. The single most important issue which nobody is willing to raise is the issue of corporations in this country paying voluntary taxation, legally paying voluntary taxation. Chevron, a multi-billion dollar company, paid $246, that's right, $246 in tax. In 2013, Murdoch received an $886 million tax refund while making tens of millions of profits, all done legally. This campaign is centred about making the wealthiest 1% pay 1% through the introduction of 4 new corporate taxes which could be described as a corporate GST. A 1% turnover tax on corporations that have a turnover of more than $2 million. That would raise $40 billion per year. A 1% stock market turnover tax on every stock which is bought and sold on the Australian Stock Exchange. That would raise $30 billion per year. A 1% financial transaction tax on all financial transactions above $50,000 excluding the family home. That would raise another $30 billion per year. And while you pay the GST on electricity, gas and many household items and services that you access, the corporate sector claims their GST as a tax deduction. If we remove the GST as a tax deductions for businesses that have a turnover of more than $5 million per year, that would exclude most small businesses, we could raise another $50 billion per year. That would be $150 billion per year can be raised by making the wealthiest 1% pay an extra 1% in tax. It's a very simple idea. The money raised could be used for a decent social security net. It could be used for a decent public education sector, a decent public health sector, public housing, public infrastructure, and the list goes on and on and on. Why should the 80% of Australians who live on social security benefits or are wage earners continue to subsidise the wealthiest people in this country? Why should we continue to subsidise the investment class that uses this country's laws to legally minimise their taxes through using tax deductions? And why should we allow the richest 1% to not pay legally taxation in this country? It's time for a change. I'm funding my own campaign. I am totally independent. I encourage you to look at the campaign, not just in the electorate of Dunkley, but the rest of Australia. Because if we don't go down this path, many people will suffer to a great degree in the next few years in this country. We will find ourselves in the same situation as many third world countries find themselves today, and as many people in the United States are finding themselves today. So it's time to change our mindset and make the wealthiest 1% pay 1%.